And good morning, dear ones. Robert Brzezinski with you. Today is April 15th, tax day. I didn't even think of that until just now. Kind of a weird year, not even thinking that it's tax day already, but here we are. And, beyond that, no worries about taxes. We're here to pray because that's the important part. That's what's really important here. And we get together every morning, 8:15 a.m. Mountain Time, for a quick 15-minute experience, a little bit of prayer, a little bit of thought. And we do the same thing at the end of the day, 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time as well. And today I am so excited because I have a great friend, and I think now you can officially be considered our first regular guest.
All right, I like it.
So this is the third time Reverend Lisa's been with us.
Yeah.
And so welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, glad to be here.
And folks, we do a little bit of promotion in this program as well. And one of the things I just want you to know is Reverend Lisa's got a great children's book. We're going to talk a little bit more about that afterwards and let you know how you can get in touch with that. It is a really fabulous book. And I happen to know from a secret source that she might be working on a series of videos to go along with those. So we might get her to chat about that a little later as well. However, like I said, this is really about prayer. We'll do some promotions later. And the idea is to pray on whatever shows up in the world, whatever's showing up in the room, or pray for you and for your desires. So if you have something that you'd like to get into my prayer book, please send an email, revbriz@spiritevolving.com, and we can pray for you on this program. We can get together and pray on the phone. Drop your prayer request in my prayer book here and make sure that I work with that book a few times a day. So in this time especially, let's rely on the power of prayer and the power of spirit to move us into new places, into new ideas. So, all right, enough of my babbling about. Reverend Lisa, welcome back.
Thank you.
And I think you know the drill by now, as it were. The one question we ask here is, what's in your heart? What's been in your prayers?
So what's been in my heart is the interesting challenges that we are facing during this time of the COVID-19. And so something that popped up on my Facebook yesterday really brought it home for me. So I don't know if you guys can see this, and you may have seen this on your Facebook, but it says day 35 of quarantine. And then there's a couple sitting on the couch, and she looks at him and says, "Can you blink a little more quietly, please?" It's hilarious. It's one of the funniest ones I've seen. It's just so funny because my daughter and I have been having a little bit of, we're just like this, kind of at each other, but it's really over nothing. And the funny part is that I said, well, gosh, we've been together for so long now, we don't even have a break. So what I've gathered from that is that, I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there, you guys, that are feeling maybe a little frustrated or overwhelmed, or like you have no personal space, and we're getting a little irritated and frustrated with this time that we've been spending together, which is on one hand beautiful, and on the other hand, it still also is testing our boundaries and testing us, Yeah. So I just invite everybody to just allow that to be okay, and know that that is just a part of this process. It's the discovering more about each other, discovering more about ourselves, and that it's just okay to be there. It's okay to be in that space right now.
Yeah,
if we can just let it be, and try not to judge it too harshly and judge each other too harshly. Just let it, take a deep breath and just go in the other room and just take a moment. You feel like that's happening with you, Reverend Robert?
Yes.
Yeah. Anybody else feel like that out there? Let us know. You're not alone.
I believe the esteemed Reverend Sunshine Day is with us in prayer this morning as well. So welcome, Sunshine. Glad you're with us.
Yeah.
And And yes, I agree. Right? It's difficult to have personal space, and it is so very necessary at this point because we're being called to something higher, something stronger, something more,
Mhm.
and that's only going to happen if we're strong, if we're committed, if as a whole, if humanity as a whole says, "Hey, we got this,"
Yeah.
and I don't have to go back to the bowling alley just because I'm a little bored this week. We can get this. So
We can get through it. We'll get through it.
exactly.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, folks, this is called Share a Prayer, so we're going to get to it here. The whole idea is that Reverend Lisa is going to get us started with a prayer, and she'll move through, and at some point, Spirit will sort of say, "Okay, send that over," and she'll pass it to me. I'll wrap up the prayer, and then we'll say our goodbyes and get you off into your day. So, dear one, please take us away.
All right. So this morning, I have from the Richer Living. This is one of my most favorite books by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. They're two of our greatest New Thought leaders, and this is my daily guide. So I'd like to share just a little piece from the daily guide here. I feel like it's really fitting for today. And just for reference, in this book, they do speak from a, I don't know what we would call it. Somewhat, they do a reference to the Bible in here, and they talk about evil, but I prefer to see evil as in, maybe we're missing the mark, or that we're just making a choice that isn't the best per se, in a reference to evil. So you can take it or leave it as you wish. So today, peace is mine this day, for there's nothing to fight. There's only God to realize. I am delivered from all my difficulties, for God in me is my deliverance. Infinite mind knows no restrictions. And as I, its representative on earth, am now free and whole and at peace. My consciousness controls my world, and I refuse to think evil or negative. I think truth, and thus truth controls my world. Peace is mine this day, for in my thought there is nothing to fight. There is only God to realize. I love to contemplate the things of the Spirit. The action of God taking place in my affairs today eliminates and prevents evil from appearing. It has no power in reality, and I see only God in myself and others. My salvation is of God, for his mind is mine to use for the glory of good and for the furtherance of peace. Today I walk in wisdom, born of the Spirit and of love. Let's just take a moment to go inside. Close your eyes if you want. Take a deep breath in. Blow it out. Always come back to the breath. One breath in, another breath in. And as I begin, we know that the breath is the breath of God. Every breath that we breathe is life moving in and through us. For it is that beautiful nature of God, the breath, the heartbeat. It is breathing us and living in us now. For we know that that divine presence of God lives in everything and everyone, in every cell of our being. It is made from the strength and the divine presence of God, of Spirit, of that omnipresence that lives among us, within us, and around us. For as we know and recognize that this divine mind, this divine presence, is all-knowing and full of wisdom, full of grace, full of guidance. For that divine guidance is working in and through each one of us right here, right now. As we are connected with it, we know that we are one with God. We are one with Spirit. We are one with this divine essence, this energy, this light, this love that is ever prevailing. For we know that it oversees everything and everyone. As we are divinely connected with it, we know that it is working in and through our lives for beauty, for grace in all of our relationships, and is sending love and beauty and strength and wisdom and guidance to all the people that are out there on the front line. For we bless all of the doctors and the nurses and everyone that is supporting and helping the ones who are sick and the ones who are recovering. We give great thanksgiving for the ones who are moving forward and moving on. And we know that each relationship is blessed by this divine presence of God, and that we move forward, upward and onward. And we are made of this divine strength, made of this divine light. This love and this light moves through us, guiding us through every step of our day. And we just take one breath at a time, one step at a time, knowing that we will get through this and that there is greater good to come. For as we trust in God, we trust in that faith, and we go back to our roots and we go back to love, knowing that it expresses perfectly in this life, and that with God, all things are possible. And this too shall pass. We just stay in this present moment, knowing that we are blessed by this divine energy, and that love and strength and energy and peace and beauty is the truth of who we are. And when we go back to this truth, we know that that supports us and brings us peace, guidance, and grace in this day as we move on with this day. And now I hand it over to Reverend Robert.
And I do too also feel that sense of deep, deep trust. A deep sense of trust and faith. A deep knowing that back of everything is God. God is that orchestrating principle, the power, the presence, the intelligence, the creative process taking form through my life, through all life, and through the experiences we have on the planet at this time. God taking form in the good stories, the stories of communities working together, of youth supporting elderly, of the creativity of human spirit. From baristas serving coffee out their kitchen window to executives throwing toilet paper in a car on a drive-by. There is a great wealth of creative expression that is happening, of creativity being birthed into this planet. And what's happening, what I see, and I claim for each one that hears these words the same vision, is I see a world being born that works for everyone. A new way of being on the planet together. The age of competition crumbling away, and a new age, an age of collaboration, an age of co-creation, a season of awakening here on the planet at this time. And I know that each one gets to play a vital role within that. So for all those that hear these words, I claim an experience of saying yes to playing that vital role, to playing whatever it is you are here to play. However you are called to show up, whatever is moving within your heart to be expressed, do that. Say yes. I know there is a great and glorious yes within each one, moving to be released into this experience, into this great maelstrom of creative energy. For what I see is I see that in this world, in this time, during this season, there are no limits to what the mind may create, what the mind may imagine. And in some ways, there is still the ability to create through form, through technology. And there will be that day where we move back into the world and create with our hands again. We shall hug again. and businesses will start, and things will go back to, quote, normal. However, what I know is that's not the old normal.
Mhm.
I recognize the old systems are crumbling and falling away. That which no longer serves the evolution of humanity is in this moment crumbling away, dissolving back into the nothingness from whence it came. And in its new place, in its old place, a new creation, a new opportunity to do it all differently, to listen more closely to God, to listen more closely to each other. For I know that we are all connected, that we are all each other's brothers, sisters. We truly are all in this together. And what I see for the first time in so long, we are more and more acting that way. I see more acts of kindness, more acts of service than ever before. So I claim for each one here that deep sense of service as well. The sacred trust, the sacred yes, and the sacred call to serve. Right now. We don't have to wait until we go back out into the world. We don't have to wait till someone says okay. There's an opportunity to serve here and now just by being. Make a phone call, write a letter, get on a chat, do a Zoom room. No matter the form, there is an opportunity right now to serve in ways like never before. And so I claim for myself a sacred yes around that service. I speak this word that each may hear it and each may be called in their own way to say yes to that sacred service. Because we are all in this together, and that means we're all getting through this together. And that means we'll all be together on the other side. What I know about God is I know God is always taking on form and experience and then letting go, releasing that experience, releasing that form so that there may be something new. And so this experience shall be released as well. This experience is already on its way out. I can feel and sense we're beyond a point of the old consciousness in hold. We're beyond the point where fear is ruling the day, and we've moved into a point where love rules the day, where light rules the day. So I stay in that this day. I turn away from the fear and I turn towards the love. I turn away from the darkness and I turn towards the light. And I bask in that deep sense of trust and faith that all is well. And I know that all is well because it's all good. It's all God. It could be no other way. So I am in this moment filled with gratitude for the truth that's been revealed, for the truth that is still revealing itself, and most especially grateful to know that God's got this. That there is God's vision revealing itself here through our lives, as our lives in this moment. And that means that God's at the helm. God's controlling all of this. And that means I can get myself out of the way. And I do. I release this word into the law that has already said yes, that is already acting upon this word, and I let it be. I let go. I let God be God. And I affirm this truth by just saying, and so it is.
Amen, amen.
And so it is. Well, thank you, dear ones, for being with us this morning. Reverend Lisa's going to be with us. She is actually becoming our very first regular guest and is going to be here every week on Wednesday mornings with me. So we can look forward to being together and sharing a prayer every week.
Yes.
I like it. Let's take just another quick moment here. I do want you to know you can get in touch with Reverend Lisa in a couple of ways. Her Facebook page, Wedding Rev Lisa, facebook.com Wedding Rev Lisa, and that's your officiant business.
Mm-hmm.
And then also remember LisaWilliamsBooks.com and it's 4 Fabulous Fairy Tales and Mindful MIDI Meditations. They are a great collection. It's a wonderful children's book. Check this out. I think and I like it, and I'm an adult, and I enjoy the meditations too. So So check it out, folks. That's about all time we've got for today. Thank you for being with us. Make it a great day. Get yourself some love. Remember, you are loved and you are loved. And we'll be back again this evening, 8:15 Mountain Time. Until then, peace and blessings. Bye now.
Bye.